السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Inshallah, Brother Aqil will close the door as there is a little bit of sound outside. We will continue on with fiqh of fasting for the questions and answers. So we mashallah, alhamdulillah, we've almost answered so many questions regarding siyam, the fasting, and also we answered about the tarawih and so on. One of the questions that we get almost every Ramadan regarding reciting the Quran while for the women while they are in their period, are they allowed to continue reciting Quran or no? And this is we have to put more details on that. So the question, there is no yes all the time and there is no all the time, and this matters. There is disputing between the scholars in this about this matter. And in this regard of, well, the woman in her menses, is she allowed to recite Quran or not? So the majority of the scholars, they say no. The majority of the scholars and the madhahib, they said no, she cannot do so. She cannot do so. The problem here is if the woman, she has some sort of wird, which means specific portion of the Quran, she's a hafiza, and she goes over her like maybe 2 juz a day or a juz a day or something, so she does not forget. Is she allowed to read and practice her word? Otherwise she will forget. This is the only situation. Actually, Al-Malikiyya, the school of thoughts of Al-Maliki, they said, she can do that. So all what she has to do is she hold the Quran with some sort of gloves or something, not touch it directly, and she can do her word while she on her menses. However, if she owns an iPhone or an iPad or something, she easily can do her word from that, and that is okay. So she easily can review her word and her portion of the Quran and practicing her word and so on from the iPad, from iPhone. This is the best solution to do so, because it's not the actual Quran. If she will hold the Quran, she will hold the mushaf with her hand. Let's say she's having this mushaf and it's big and she's holding with her hand. This is haram. This is haram for her to do that. She can open the Quran either on iPhone or iPad. However, if she wears gloves while in her menses, this is the case. She can actually touch the Quran because there is a ha'il. There is gloves between her actual hand and the mushaf. But this is the only case, actually, the scholars, they said, okay, because it's a darura for her, and if she did not so, there is a harm, and her memorization will be occurred. So if she practices every day 1 juz or 2 juz, and for 7 days she doesn't even open the mushaf and open the Quran, of course her memorization will start to be confused. Aqil, Sister Anisa and brother and sister Riyada, they said turn the volume on.
It is.
So it is, my dear brothers and sisters, it is on. So all what you have to do is put it on from your side, inshallah. And I will try to get this closer. I hope that will work, inshallah. طيب. Again, my dear brothers and sisters, for the woman in her menses, if she has a specific portion of the Quran that she has to read and to memorize or so on, keep doing so. But if it's only for the ibadah, it's only act of worship, so she doesn't have a word, a specific portion in the day that she have to review and memorize, and it's just because of Ramadan and she just want to do extra ibadah, in your menses, in your period, you're not allowed to do so, as the Prophet ﷺ actually has mentioned quotation, and was the most of the companions and the followers, the tabi'een and tabi'in and majority of them. Only fewer actually disagree with that opinion from Imam al-Albani and so on. But the people that disagree, they have very, very weak argument, and it does not stand. Okay, so again, what if she's saying here they're learning tajweed on a group, and this is take almost 2 days a week or 3 days a week during Ramadan? If you do that, again, that will enter the educational part. When it's an educational part as well for a tajweed or halaqah or something, you can do so. However, read your word or practice it with iPad or iPhone, or if you are, wear gloves, and then you can actually practice with your group your hifz or your memorization. Other than that, no. So the only way that the only one it's not permissible if she just do it out of an extra ibadah she want to do, and that's it, while her fasting, and she just want of course she cannot be fasting because in her period she cannot be praying, so she feels like she wants to do a ibadah, so she open the Quran as well and reciting from it while you are in your menses. It's not permissible. Other than that, if there is a group educational one, or if she's a hafiza, or she is memorizing with someone or reviewing so she doesn't forget, this is all permissible. As in Maliki school of thoughts, they permit all of this situation. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Again, the questions regarding the Taraweeh. Is a woman allowed in Taraweeh to hold on to the Mus'haf? Yes, you're allowed to hold on to the Mus'haf while you are praying Taraweeh. Taraweeh is a sunnah, is a nafila. A sunnah, there is more flexibility in it. So regarding al-hayat, regarding sitting down, standing up, for instance, standing, I'll have the full reward. Sitting down, I'll have half reward. Half reward is better than no reward. So for that, there is a lot of flexibility in the sunnah, and yes, you're allowed and it's permissible. As al-Mu'minin Aisha, there was one of the mawali, he actually used to read from the Mus'haf while they were in following in the back. So yes, pray Taraweeh and hold on the Mus'haf, nothing wrong with it. And of course there is some scholar actually disagree, especially from Hanafi school of thoughts. Brother Aqil, they're saying there is no sound and the volume is on.
It's working for Nur, it's working for me, it's working on the phones.
So can the brothers and sisters confirm if they hear sound or no? Sister Rani, Sister Riyada, Sister Brother Shamsad Ali. So confirm again after you put your sound on. Confirm if there is sound or not yet. It is not on still. Try to go Aqil and see online from your phone. So if you hear any phone, we apologize for the brothers and sisters out there if there is inconvenience about it. There is sound? No sound? Alright, so if any... Well, actually, I just heard myself now. It is... Barakallah fiqh, Brother Mu'taz, mashallah. Yes, there is sound. Sound, voice and clear. Brother Mu'taz, may Allah reward you. Abu Muhammad, Aidan, may Allah reward you. There is sound. So, it might be your devices, my dear brothers and sisters. It might be your actually devices. So, Jazakumullah khair. Okay, so for the Taraweeh, hold the Mus'haf and read. I got a question as well from a brother who says, Sheikh, I only know fewer surah that I can recite correctly, but I want to read the entire Quran, or I want to read from, Al-Baqarah and Ali Imran and Nisa and those surahs, but I know my recitation, I have a big mistakes in them. So, and again, the Quran, my dear brothers and sisters, it might be fatha or kasrah, just a regular vowel, and it might change the whole meaning. it might actually changes the whole meaning. So based on that, only read in the salah, in the tarawih, what you memorize or what you can read perfectly. And this is one of the reasons why we broadcast the tarawih online as well. As you can listen to the imam what he's reciting, fix your recitation while he's reading, and then after he's done, go and pray and open the mushaf and read within yourself, or if you play in group with family or with friends or something, pray out loud, but from the portion of the Quran that you know for sure, and you're able to follow along, able to correct your recitations. But other than that, do not do so. طيب. So we have here another question as well from a sister, that she missed 20 days from last Ramadan with an excuse. Sister, if you missed 20 days from that Ramadan with the excuse, I imagine there was something urgent, or there was illness or something with a valid excuse, and you did not make it all the way until this Ramadan. What you have to do is, after this Ramadan is done, you will make up these days with fidyah as well. So in the 20 days, you will be feeding 20 per person. It means 20 per $10. That means $200 as well. You pay it in the box of Ramadan it'am, or feeding Ramadan, and you will have to make up these 20 days as well. Jazakumullahu khairan. طيب.
I have a question.
Yes.
So say that there's voluntary fasting outside of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Like Yom Arafat, right?
Yeah.
Say you missed one day, and then there's also the voluntary fasting. Can you have a double intention in a day to make up?
Jazakumullahu khairan, Brother Aqil. Brother Aqil is asking if he has days to make in Ramadan, and then throughout the year there is like a day of Arafah to fast or something, or a voluntary fast. Can you double your intention fasting, day of Arafah, and fasting the days that you made in Ramadan? And the answer is no. And this is consensus, ijma'. So you cannot do that, because you have to make up these days. So to make up these days, this is obligatory. With the fasting voluntarily, it's a whole different thing. So you have to have your intention either here or there, either voluntarily or making up the fast. So, and that will bring us another question here. Let's say someone wants to make a day of Arafah, to fast day of Arafah, but he still has a lot of days to make during Ramadan, the past Ramadan. Can he just fast Yom Arafah, the day of Arafah, and later on make up this fast? Yes, you can do so. As well as for the 6 days of Shawwal. If someone have days to make after Ramadan, and then he wants to do the 6th of Shawwal, do so. Do the 6th of Shawwal and then make up the days. However, my personal opinion, I do not recommend that. Finish your mandatory, because it's still mandatory. It means you still owe it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a different thing, inshallah, we'll get to it. Whoever passed away with, a father passed away, and the son or the wife, they know that he missed a lot of days or something, they still either to make up these days or to feed. We'll get to that matter, inshallah. But obligatory one, finish it before any voluntary. But however, if you're certain that you will make up these days, go ahead, fast the 6 days of Shawwal, and then make up the days that you missed in Ramadan. Both correct, but just my personal opinion in it, especially for the 6 days. Because if you're able to fast, mashallah, the 6 days and so on right after Ramadan, that means you're able to make up this fast. And I put first the obligatory one before the sunan. طيب, هل يشترط التتابع بالقضاء? Let's say someone who missed around 10 days in Ramadan. So a lady or a man, they were traveling, or they were sick or something, and they break their fast for 10 days in Ramadan. How can they make these days after Ramadan? They will make these days day by day. It does not have to be continuous. It cannot be, it does not have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then right 10 days right up. No, I can make it every Monday and Thursday, or I can make it 3 days, or 1 day this week, 1 day the next week, 1 day next week. It's up to you. It's up to you to make these days. So it does not have to be one after another. It does not have to be one after another. Now, we have another question here from the sister. Again, the question for repeatedly the people with diabetes, and they are diabetic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them fast and recovery. No, it does not break your fast. Take insulin and continue your fast. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it, inshallah. For someone who went to the dentist and he couldn't help it, and he swallowed a lot of water and the stuff, and what should he do? In this case, you will have to make up this day. However, do not go home and start eating and drinking. Do not go home and start breaking your fast out of respect for this month. So the scholar said, even whoever breaks his fast, he should actually continue the fast, especially something like that happen. If something like that happen, that hold up to the food and the water all the way until Maghrib, and then break your fast as well, as a respect for the month of Ramadan. And again, my dear brothers and sisters, if you can avoid actually going in Ramadan during the fasting, especially now it's a pandemic and all the dentists now open only for emergency. So if you have emergency, go to the dentist. However, alhamdulillah, the Muslim dentist in the West here, again, they put some sort of balloon, prevent water and the blood going on there, and the numbing shot that they give you in your gums to freeze up this place so you don't feel pain. It does not break your fast. So if you went to a Muslim dentist and continue on, and he knows these things, and he knows that you can't have water coming down your throat or something, so they are well trained for that, and inshallah continue your fast and nothing wrong with it. Alright, so we get a question here. For making up the fast, do you have to have intention from the night? Absolutely. Same thing. Especially in making up this fast, you need to have intention from the night. You need to have the intention from the night that, next day you will make up these days that what you missed in Ramadan. It's different than voluntarily fast. The voluntarily fast, you might have the intention later on. As the Prophet ﷺ has been rated that he wakes up and he tells his wife, do you have any food? And she says no. And he said, then okay, I will continue my fasting. So for voluntarily fast, it's a little bit different ruling than obligatory one, or to make up this fast, because the obligatory one, or to make up the obligatory fast, you will have to have intention for it. You'll have to have intention for it. طيب. Again, here the question, mashallah, we got it a couple times. For whoever died and he owes fast. So if you died and if someone died, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on all the Muslimin and Muslim ummah, Allahumma ameen. So if a brother or sister dies, if you died and you owe fast, your relatives, means your son, your wife, your grandmother, they can actually do the fasting for you, the rest of the fasting for you. They can do that, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, man mata wa alayhi siyam sama anhu waliyuh. Whoever died and he owes fasting, then waliyuh means either his relative, his son, or the closest relative. They can make up this fast. However, my opinion here, and as well as a lot of scholars as well, because they added to this hadith insha. It means if he wills to make up this fast, is sufficient. But if he does not want to make this fast and he wants to feed one poor person per day, he can do that. So you have, let's say if someone's parents or father or mother passed away, and he knows that they still owes fasting, you have two choices: either to make up the days that they break their fasts in, or to feed on them. However, if they were elder and they do not fast anyway, in this case what you do is just feed one poor person per day. So let's say someone's mother died while in the middle of Ramadan, so in the 15th or 16th of Ramadan, and she was among the elders, so she did not fast anyway. In this case, what you have to do is after that, after the burial and everything, count these days, 16 days, every day $10, and then go put it in a box, inshallah, for feeding. Again, we have designated boxes, and we put it, I think, in one in Safadi and one in, I think, in Northgate. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one Safadi's, one Westgate.
Yeah, so either contact, inshallah, Masjid al-Rashid or contact Islamic Relief, and they will do so, inshallah. Okay, so again, so if an elder died and does not fast, you do not have to fast. All what you have to do is to feed one poor person per day, and this is valid. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Now, okay, so again here, the question repeated another time for the one who's traveling, which is better. We answered that already, and we said if it's short to travel and is not going to affect your work, break your fast, continue your fast. You do not have to break it. If it's a longer travel, and yes, you have a couple hours to drive or flight or something, break your fast and make up these days, and nothing wrong on you, inshallah. So does it have to be feeding the poor people? Yes, it has to be feeding. Alhamdulillah, now it's facilitated. Feeding doesn't mean, my dear brothers and sisters, and this is a common mistake, feeding does not mean you cook the food and you give them. No, feeding is give them food, that's all. Rice, dates, whatever this purpose. Alhamdulillah, we have here the Masjid al-Rashid provides all of that for you. So all what you have to do is with the amount of $10, inshallah, and the Rashid, from there we take it off your shoulder, and we deal with many organizations like Islamic Relief, like Food Bank or whatever, and then they actually feed the people with this one. So again, what's based on the miqdar, the why it's $10, is actually zaqima. It means now for someone to have a good meal, decent meal, min awsati ma tut'imuna ahlikum, which is from the average that you eat, and we said it's $10 is the average. You can buy a meal with $10, yes, but you cannot really buy a meal with $5 or $1. So this is why we hear the Lajna committee, the Fatwa committee here, informed from 3 Imams. We came with the ruling $10. It will be for the kafara. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. All right, so who can feed the people instead of fasting? There is, as we said before, but we mentioned it in a brief answer. We will have more details, inshallah. The one who can feed people and he does not have to make up this fast is first the elder, male or female. So the elder, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wanted to make it easy on them. And if you think about it, you will see after the verses of as-siyam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرِ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرِ. Allah wants the ease for you, not the hardship for you. So the elder, that they struggle, yes, if you are struggling, if the elder struggles with with the fast and something, that means break your fast, and after Ramadan pay the kafara, which is the $10 per day, and nothing wrong with it, and it's a valid, inshallah, and it's actually, this is why it's called, it's a kafara, because it means it's if like you fasted already. So what's that? When you pay that one, khalas, nothing wrong with you, do not have to worry about making up this fast. So our elder, male or female, they can feed and they do not have to fast. As well, as someone with chronic disease or severe illness, and it does not go from a medicine or something. Someone have very severe diabetes, for instance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them recovery and fast healing. If they have severe diabetes, that some I think a type of diabetes or something that requires to like eat sugar every like 4 hours, or eat something every 4 hours or something. In this case, do not fast. Again, do not try to challenge yourself in this matter, my dear brothers and sisters. Ask your physician, is it safe to fast? If he said it's not safe for you to fast, do not fast. All what you have to do, if it's a permanent thing like diabetes or whatever, you can feed instead of fast, and nothing wrong with that. Again, there is a question from the lady side for pregnant and breastfeeding. And they said sometimes it's very difficult to make up these days, especially if she has, if she's pregnant and then she put down the baby, then she's breastfeeding, and then Ramadan after Ramadan comes, and they do not have a chance to make up this Ramadan. The fatwa here is from the fatwa council that we said we adopt the opinion of Ibn Abbas, which is saying al-hamil wal-murdi'. So the pregnant and the breastfeeding, they do not have to make up this fast. All what they have to do is fidya, which is to pay and feed for every day, and that's it. So every day in Ramadan they feed again. By the end of Ramadan, $300 they put it in the feeding box for the Ramadan food bank, or for Islamic Relief. Bring it to Rashid, but you have to tell the receptionist or whoever is here this food for Ramadan kafara. So we put it actually in the right place. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. However, my dear brothers and sisters, if you are able to make up this fast, do so. If you're able to make up this fast, that means you have to. So a woman, she feels strong after she's given birth, and or breastfeeding, and she feel okay and nothing wrong with it, and nothing wrong with her physically, and she want to continue her fast, that means you have to do the fast. Or if it's very long hours and you wanted to make up this fast in the winter, you can do so. Again, alhamdulillah, the door is mashallah wide open for many choices. Again, it's Islam wanted to protect you, protect the kids, and protect your child. طيب. What about if someone cannot afford to pay and neither cannot afford to fast? If someone is from the elder, who of course cannot fast, but as well he's very poor and he cannot actually do that, or do the ransom or something, nothing wrong with it. But even the Prophet ﷺ, as a man, came, and actually was a situation happened where the Prophet ﷺ told them, then you feed that, you give this to the poor. He said, "O Messenger of Allah, there is the whole Medina, there is no one more poor than me. I'm nothing." So that way the Prophet ﷺ actually give him some of the tamr that he can actually donate as well. So if that is the case, my dear brothers and sisters, if this is the case, he cannot afford actually the $10, even if it comes to buying dates worth of the whole month, $25 of the dates, or $25 worth breads or something, and you give it to even the homeless here or whatever, inshallah that will be sufficient. But this is the only case if you cannot afford the proper feeding for the poor person. So you can do that, and nothing wrong with it, inshallah, and continue on. Okay, so he said, Sheikh, can I, if I broke my fast one day and it came Ramadan, I still did not make the fast, I forgot, and now we are in Ramadan here. So after this Ramadan's over, you're gonna have to make up these days from the past Ramadan with it'am, with fidya. But he's asking here, can I do the fidya for one day to 2 person? No, you cannot. Has to be a whole meal, because if it's $10 and you give this one, $10, you cannot give 2 meals. So it's only for one person. Now, But if you make so many days, if you will have to make up more than 1 day and every day you give it to different people, that is permissible and nothing wrong with it, inshallah. طيب. Here someone is asked, Shaykh, I consider myself like, lower income. Yeah, and he has a kafara to give. Can he give it to his family? Giving it to the family is not sufficient from parents and sons and wives. That's it. This category, you're not allowed to give them either zakah, or you're not to give them either it'am or anything. Brothers, sisters, whatever, if they are poor or masakin, yes, you can do so. Yes, you can do so, and this is under fiqh called من وجبت عليه النفقة من وجبت عليهم النفقة, which is the one that الشرع order you and obligate you to take care of them, which is the parents or the kids. The parents or the kids. You cannot give them zakah, you cannot give them it'am. What you can give is a sister, brothers, other relatives, cousins, uncles, whatever. Those people, if they are poor, yes, you can give them this one. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Okay. So another question in this matter, and we'll go inshallah and we'll see if there is any more question to answer. The question here says that does the fidya, I owe fidya and to make up the fast, do they have to be together? So in the same day I make up the fast, I have to give the fidya? No, they do not have to be together. So your fidya and to make up these days, it's a total separate things. So the fidya I can pay it right after Ramadan, but the fast I can actually wait until the other Ramadan, before the end of Sha'ban. I have a whole year to make up this fast, so I can pay the fidya up front and then later on I can make up the fast, and this is permissible and nothing wrong with it. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. طيب. How long we've been alive?
We've been about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, inshallah. So the good news here, my dear brothers and sisters, we still have for tomorrow, inshallah, to make up for the days. For supposed to be today, but inshallah tomorrow it will be the last day for fiqh of fasting. So again, we will leave inshallah some of the questions here unanswered as well, and tomorrow we'll finish inshallah our fiqh of fasting. And please, my dear brothers and sisters, if you have any question regarding that, inshallah, let me know, and we will be answering this kind of question, and try to interact as much as possible, inshallah. So Sheikh Uwais saying, Assalamu alaikum everyone, was Hingman here, Western Canada fundraising manager for Islamic Relief for Friday. Please visit the website. And my dear brothers and sisters, I encourage everyone to to visit and actually to donate to Islamic Relief. It's a well-renowned organizations that, mashallah, it's all over, and the people witnessed, great job. And as an imam, actually witnessed a great job and effort from this organization all over Canada and North America, and overseas as well, internationally in Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them and bless their effort. Allahumma ameen. So until here, we will continue inshallah tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.